Police in Kingsville are searching for a man who broke into an apartment complex, robbed and assaulted a man inside. Travis Collins broke into an apartment on East Alice and North 12th Street, pretending to be a maintenance employee. The 70-year-old man who lived there said once inside, that man then beat him, stole his cash and debit card. Collins was later seen at surveillance video at a convenience store using the debit card. The suspect is no stranger to police, though. Officials say he robbed a cab driver just last week. The 30-year-old now faces aggravated robbery and debit card abuse charges. If you have any information about Travis Collins, you're urged to call KPD. That number 361-592-4311.